hard to go viral in the basic niches.
I think with the offer meta though, like you can revive those niches if you know how to make.
I think you can take something from that for info. All the old offers, SMMA, six-pack abs, drop shipping, they were kind of like the originals, but now you have to have kind of an edge. TikTok shop instead of drop shipping. What's another one? Instead of six-pack abs, it's carnivore diet. Instead of SMMA, it's fucking AI agent agency, right? Like something like that, you have to have an edge. So I completely agree with you. And we're looking at that for I like those clients too because it's hard to go viral in the basic niches.
I think with the offer meta though, I think it comes down to being able, like you can revive those niches if you know how to make a unique tweak. I think one is obviously how can you angle it, because if you just say the word drop shipping, like it doesn't matter. We have this client who he's in high ticket drop shipping and he makes like 2 mil a month. But what he does is he just frames it so differently. So like you don't think that it's actually like high ticket drop shipping when that's reality what it is. I think that's a big thing. But the second thing is as well like how you position the offer. Because nobody wants a course plus coaching offer anymore. People want the license system or like the AI setup and like we basically AI set up the course, then we do this and then we set up your ads and then basically we like people want the offer that feels very done for you and it feels very new. So I think with a lot of these like coaching offers that used to be just like course plus community, I think a lot of them to survive need to actually become proper consulting companies. It's like, for example, for an Airbnb client of ours, he now has like every single student gets access to a one-on-one like support coach, which is like a CSM, but who actually has a 10K per month Airbnb business. So like that is going to amp up the fulfillment costs. Is it going to help because now you can cross-sell? Yes. But I think the big landscape shift to me at least is like building the offers more as a service now. And then number two, actually being able to frame it in a way where, you know, you sort of actively know what the end goal is and you have something on the back end that you can upsell. It's like an actual like thinking through business model as opposed to just sell information.
Yeah, I agree. I think we have a publishing client who's very similar. It was course and community, but now they need to do some sort of AI ghostwriting. Like you have to kind of implement it, or you need to have an AI agent who's cold calling. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to include some sauce in there. And I honestly, the way I related it, just to wrap that up, is it's like in a video game, like when you're running an old character that just got nerfed. Like in FIFA, you're trying to play fucking 3-back, but they just nerfed it and all the center backs are too slow. So you have to switch to 4-back or 5-back. It's the same thing. It's like you're trying to run the old meta. So you got to kind of keep it fresh. But yeah, I completely agree. It's funny that you said that because I had this tweet that I put out, but my long actually valuable tweets never get likes. I have to tweet something that's fucking boring to get likes.
Oh, God.
All right, man. We're wrapping up here, so I wanted to ask you, is Notts winning the league? Nottingham Forest?
Higher chance that we win it than you guys win it.
Let's
put it this way.
No.
I'd actually, it's a take I actually believe in. You guys you're used to bottling it. We're not used to bottling it.
All right.
We actually didn't bottle relegation. We actually escaped relegation, so we know how to like finesse what we want. You know what I'm saying? We've actually won a trophy earlier than you guys.
So how does AI inform your process or your writer's processes?
I wouldn't say AI informs the process, but it's like if you're not using AI, you're really stupid. Like AI is so powerful. I'd say the thing about AI that I learned, and I just made a video about this like 2 days ago. The thing that I learned is it's really bad when it's naked, but it's really good when you dress it up with all of your IP. So like it's only going to be as good as you train it to be, and it can only be trained on what you know. So if you don't know anything, it's useless. So I think what I've learned the most is that anytime I have a repeatable task, I can use AI, but anytime I have a creative task, I kind of can use it if I have like writer's block, or I can train it on frameworks, but I can't really, it has never really put out the absolute 100% final product. At the very most I've ever seen is like 95%. But there's always something that's off. And I was just making fun of DeepSeek because this whole DeepSeek came out, and I just like jokingly typed like write me a viral tweet, and it was the worst thing that I've ever seen. I'm like, nope, still bad. But yeah, AI, there's so many ways you can use it. We use it for a ton of stuff. you know, like SOP creation lately has been like a huge one for me because you could just feed it like your SOP template and it'll just spit it back to you for anything you need. So that's been really helpful. I use it as a fractional CFO. That's been really helpful as well. Feed it all my P&Ls, like where can I optimize? So yeah, super helpful if you know how to use it, but I'm admittedly still learning how to get like the absolute most out of it.
So you don't really use it for content, it's more ideation, that type of thing?
Yeah, but you still can use it for content. You can use
Okay.
it for content. It's just you can't use it naked. Like you can't just say write me a LinkedIn post. It's going to be the worst thing you've ever seen. But if you've already written good content and you can feed it that and train it on your old content, then it can be good. I'd say the caveat here is that something that worked 2 years ago and then you feed it to Claude is not going to work. So if, for example, tomorrow the framework that you fed it in is not going to be working on the algorithm, it's not going to work. It's not going to work the next day or next week. So you kind of have to keep it super fresh, which still requires the human intervention. I think where it gets really interesting is when they're trained on their own, like when you can train it on the algorithm itself. Like for example, X being open source, feeding it that algorithm. But right now, the problem with the X algorithm is that this whole open source thing, they give you like the code is from like 2022, and it was like likes or 10x reach. None of it made any sense, and it's all bullshit. But when and if and when the open source algorithms are like the meta and they actually can be really helpful, I think that's really interesting too.